Well, several Republicans now in the U.S. House have introduced legislation to eliminate all federal funding, including student loans to medical schools and institutions with race-based mandates and DEI practices. Now, a member of Utah's congressional delegation is supporting that effort. We want to welcome Congressman Burgess Owens to the show. Burgess, how are you? Welcome to Wingman Wednesday with Rod Arquette and Greg Hughes. How are you, Burgess?
Rod and Greg, great. Good talking to you guys again. Looking forward to this, my friends, for sure.
Why is this bill, in your opinion, Burgess, so important?
This gets back to a little bit of common sense, I would think. Of all the places that we rely on meritocracy to be the very best at your work, at your skill, at compassion, it's in the medical profession. We all have to go through times where we're making sure we're taking care of our health, make sure our loved ones are going to be with us a little bit longer. And the last thing we need to be doing is thinking about somebody in that position based on his color or her color or their background or ancestry. That's a position, like anything else that really matters in life, meritocracy at the very top. If you have the intellectual skills to pass a test, to go through the tenacity, the effort to be good at your game, then you should be able to operate and diagnose and do all the things that we need to have in that profession. I don't get anyone who says that we should look at it any other way. It makes no sense for someone to say, I would rather go to a doctor based on his skin color than based on how well he can actually treat me. So that's why we stand strong against it, and no college should be supported if they're going to support that type of attitude.
Speaking with Congressman Burgess Owens, and you mentioned it, common sense. It is common sense, and it's strange that we have to really talk at any kind of great detail about this issue. So you've worn many hats. You've played sports and been a professional football player at the highest level. You've been a small business owner. I've watched you start incredible nonprofits, helping at-risk youth and serving as a mentor. Everything that I've watched you do, or at least my observations, it's, adversity is a part of your life, and it's the companion of people that get things done. Share with our listeners, what's the role of, isn't it condescending, I guess, to say that there's anything other than overcoming adversity and excellence and high standards versus color and issues like that? Isn't that a condescending concept?
Greg, you just nailed it. You nailed it. It's called the soft bigotry of low expectations. This is what I want you guys to think about. This. We do not talk about affirmative action. Do not talk about this type of process when it comes down to sports, do we? We know that the best football players are going to get on the field and do their thing, or we're all going to be upset if they don't win the game. The best basketball player, because we expect the best physical, trained, and ready-to-go person who's going to win the game for us. Only when it comes to intellect do we have people out there called elitists. And by the way, I grew up at a time understanding what segregation, what white supremacy looks like. And I'll be honest with you, we had a commitment. We had a community that was so committed to winning that it was not white supremacists that did us in. It was black elitists. People who were able to go along with this idea that we need to have some kind of lowering of the bar so we can achieve intellectually what other people do with hard work. Mm-hmm. So understand it is a great insult to say that we need to lower the bar of medical professionalism so we have more blacks to come in. When blacks will do the same thing, given the same opportunity, they'll do the same thing that anybody else can do.
Burgess, I understand the concern about the medical industry or the medical field as well, but Greg and I were talking about, shouldn't this be applied to people who are trying to become airline pilots, other high-risk jobs? Shouldn't this all be applied to them as well, Burgess?
This should be applied to everything in life. This is the American way. The American way is for us to look at each other inside out, not outside in, to look at each other based on meritocracy. My parents' generation, the generation that dealt with segregation, even though we were not assimilating, every culture believed the same thing, no matter what community it was, that they would work harder, study harder, run harder to command respect of fellow Americans so they could be looked at as good Americans. So we have to get back to that. And everything that takes away from that is just divisiveness. It is truly, I would say, racist. It is bigotry at its best. And for anyone who says that blacks and Hispanics or whoever cannot achieve if given the same opportunities, then they have the wrong game. Here's something I just want to make a real good point. Somebody was talking about this yesterday. about the fact there's only less than 5% of blacks that were for positions. I said, well, listen, think about California. 75% of the black boys state of California in 2017 could not pass standard reading and writing tests. That's 75% of those boys that will never, ever be in position to be a physician. Not because they don't have the ability to do so. They were never trained, prepared, given the opportunities to have the discipline and dream big enough to get it done. If you take those opportunities to prepare for anything, pilot, physician, football player, it doesn't matter. You take away the opportunity to prepare, they should not be giving the right to start. Those who prepare best and can win the game, those are the ones should be given that opportunity to go out and do their thing.
Yeah, I thank you for sharing that, and I think you're in a unique position as a leader and member of Congress, and you have the empathy of these issues. I hear so many people describe DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, as if they're talking about not talking about human beings, friends, people that you know, but almost like they're looking in an aquarium and just staring inside of it. I guess Here's my question. What is the mood in Congress? I don't see a ton of things happening there. You've had an important hearing on this. You're an important voice and leader on this. Are we going to see these issues? Are we going to see these standards lowered? Are we going to see congressional action that prevents something like that? What's the truth? I mean, can you move the needle on this issue, Congressman?
I think the first step is educating the American people. And this is where, Greg, I think this year is going to be so important for us because we all have a chance to make a difference. 2024 could be looked at as a year of miracles if we come out and make sure that our voices are heard. Right now we have a very small majority. The upside of the majority is that we at least can have these conversations. We can have hearings to bring people to the point of understanding what's going on versus not. But when it comes to the American people, what can you do now to make sure that we have more power in the House, a bigger majority, we get the Senate, and get a president who cares about our country? And I tell you, all this changes. Within 20 months, everything that we're now looking at that a threat to our country, the border, what's happening in our educational system, the Marxism is going through, all that can change because we now know what the enemy is trying to do, what those are trying to destroy our culture are all about, and we know how to defeat that. So I would say this. We're excited about what we have. I'm excited about being here in Congress, but the most important thing is what we the people, those of you out here listening to this, will do the next few months to educate yourself, educate your friends, and get out and just make sure we have a tremendous win as American culture. And we get that done, and 2025 is going to be a lot of fun for all of us.
Well said. Burgess, it's always great chatting with you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.